What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Thursday, September 10th to all of you. Do you remember a day like this? Do you remember? Because I don't. We have MLB, NFL, NCAA football, NBA, and NHL all on one card. The Raptors are still alive. We were very fortunate to hit the over last night. Got there in the first overtime period, went 2 overtimes. The Nuggets didn't show up, so the glory is diminished a little bit, 22-5 now, which we will gladly take. I'm pumped up with all these sports, all these games capped. I am sleeping because we are winning. 9-3 this week, up 6.06 units. 4-2 yesterday, up 1.91 units. And I thought at one point that I was going to sweep the board. Thought I was going to go 6-0. I started getting a little cocky, and the Lightning scored at the end of the first period, so I didn't cash the Islanders plus 135, pushed that. And then there was 2 runs. 2 runs had been scored in that Angels game going into the bottom of the 5th, and that fell apart there in the under 5.5. But, man, they double up on the Yankees, betting against my Jays cash. The Braves scored 29 runs. It was nice. And I'm pumped up. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. We got Nilo ready to go. Alex Ramirez ready to eat buzz nuts. And Turns, he says, house is out because he brought a female COVID tester into his room. Yeah, man. It's not easy being stuck in a bubble, man. Xavier Oliver, but it does hurt them. The house was looking good from the perimeter. Captain Marvel, ready to go. Mitch Bruner, Ostino Liggett, Brad Thomas. NFL's back today, Brad. I'm excited. And what a game we have in store tonight. We got Junior Louis ready to go. We got Mr. Wisdom. We got Ick Schnizzle, Jordy Nordman, Ravi Patel, Tyrone Coleman, John Connolly, Nate Shellhammer, Mr. Gokster, Big Franco. Big Franco, come on. I don't think when you need overtime to cash the over, probably don't deserve the accolades. But thank you. Thank you very much. Lightning, 7 seconds left, and now no Braden Point. Well, we don't know for certain no Braden Point, but that does not bode well for them. There's TJ. Man, yes, it's been a great week. We have to keep that rolling. There we go. Viper NB. Larry the dog. Man, yeah, the pace with the Nuggets was just a crawl. They look bad, man. The night call on Larry. I wish I had gone with you. Ken Mizrahi in the house. Mr. Ghoster says, best run I've ever seen you on ever, Jim. Well, I tell you what, 22-5 in NBA. I have no recollection of that successful, but we're right at where we were, where we finished the season the last 2 years. We're up 12.37 units. So overall, it's pretty much just the same, pretty much same situation that we've had. But thank you, my man. Ravi, 8-1 day. Myself, it's been a great week. And I don't think it's going to stop. Unfortunately, we do not have Babano on the show today. He will be back next week, but he won't be here today. But I beat this card up. But I've only made one bet. I'm going to probably need some guidance in MLB. We're starting to turn around on that. I thought we were going to go 4-0 yesterday, man. But I have already locked in Lakers -5, which I didn't think would be around this morning, and it is. But I'm also interested in Rockets early, and I think I'm going to pull the trigger there. I want to talk NCAA football, close to pulling a trigger there. It's going to be a fun game, Miami UAB. We are rolling. TJ, Gibson over 4Ks at -125. Get in on that. We got Joseph Jimenez ready to go. Buzznut said, did you find Noli? Yes. Noli will be back in action next Wednesday. Noli will be back in action next Wednesday. D. Summer says, I refuse to take it in the prison pocket today. I like it. Slats 45. Lightning, Yanks, Celtics. On point. Yeah, that's tough. No more prop Slats. I get it, Slats. Oh, that's funny. You've led me right. It's hard sometimes. It's easy to, you know what? Point had been rolling. That's the risk we always take with these props are injuries. And that was the risk there. All right. Let's go. Silent says, KC, Cleveland under 8.5. Biden minus 129 on DraftKings. Massive under umpire. 12 miles per hour in from dead center. Line jumped to 8 last night, 10 minutes after they released it. There it is. That's great stuff. Great stuff. Jenny Tools ready to go. We got Penny Bombs, Tony Hill. Christian Rivas ready to go. Von Polo saying anyone else also. Is anybody else also on Rita Williams tonight as a dog? We have Jose Martinez, first time watcher. Welcome to the Low Bag fam. Jose Martinez. Jordy Norman saying NFL's back. Pittsburgh 2VA in the house. Great to see you rolling with us. Claudio S. I love it. Jason Falk says, remember NBA Jam? Damn right. I still play it. Tournament edition with the code. There we go. Oh, man. Oh, nice. Hey, man. The Zertucci family is one that we love dearly. And Emilio just, I mean, what do you think? We had, hundreds of people watching the Kentucky Derby live stream. How much money do you think he put in Lowbagger's pockets? I mean, more than 10K. All right, Nilo ready to go. Captain 24/7 laughing at the 29 runs the Braves popped up. Nate Shelmary says, need to do a whole segment on how much of a whiny little bitch Nick Nurse is. Oh, God, Nate. Wow. No, I'm not going to hedge. I don't think Michael Urbalina. But if the Clippers get up at some point in the series, I mean, I'm only going to make $1,050, right? It was $300 on the plus 350 bet. So if the Lakers, and I do need it because my NHL futures are poor, if the Clippers get up in a series, I might start taking the Lakers game by game. But that's about it. That's all I'm going to do. All right, Jenny Tools ready to get to work. Let's do exactly that and get to work. Razor Sharp picks, NFL, and horses tonight. Let's go. Razor Sharp ready to go. Spenny Petty Bomb saying, not touching football until I see some action. No preseason. Makes tough to know how teams will be. It does. It does. It does. But I think we're going to be in business. I think we're going to be in business with the Chiefs, man. I know it's a simple answer. And maybe simplifying things too much. And we're going to break down that game heavy. We're going to break down all the games heavy. Let's get to work right now. Vincente Gigante ready to get to work. Let's get after it. It is time. All right, 9-3 so far this week, plus 6.06 units. Yesterday, 4-2 plus 1.91 units. That doesn't take away the terrible run that I went on. At one point, 10 games over 500 in MLB, 55 and 45. Very confident, feeling good. We're now dealing with ugly numbers in MLB. It's fine to throw the shine on the NBA record, but let's be honest about the MLB. 83 wins, 84 losses, 49.7%, down 12.9 units. Ugly. The ROI minus 7.72%. Ugly. Average line minus 111. But yesterday was good. Another 3-in-1 day in MLB. This time up 2.01 units. Yesterday, or 2 days ago, we were up 3-in-1, up 2.15 units because we had the Tigers in the first 5. That was on Tuesday at a plus line with Turnbull. All right, let's go. We're starting with one doubleheader. Tigers, Cardinals, 78 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 6 miles per hour in. Tigers, 19-22, still in line for that 8th seed in the AL. The Cardinals, 18-17, also in line for that 8th or even 7th seed. They're 9-8 at home, while the Tigers are 9-11 on the road. It was a travel day after the game yesterday for these Detroit Tigers. They have Tariq Skubal. We went over Tariq Skubal's minor league numbers and extremely impressive. Very, very, very strong. There's Joe Free ready to get to work. Great to have you, Joe Free. Jenny Toole says, how you see Cards first 5, I can't trust Skubal at all. Jim Rummy says baseball is tough to beat. So is NFL. We see you beating baseball every year, Jim Rummy. I am not one who's doing that. Okay, Shaquille Bell in the house too. We got C-Mac ready to go. Okay, let's work. Tariq Skubal. I thought his minor league numbers were as impressive as any pitcher that's come up this year. Then we go to Cardinals versus lefties. They hit him hard. Much harder than they hit righties. 246, 761 OPS. Then we have Jack Flaherty, who's been questionable. Still 2-1, 2.95 ERA, 0.98 WHIP. Nice numbers, but he's not able to work deep. He goes just 2 2/3 in his last start, 4-1 loss to the Cubs on Friday. It's 4 starts since the team's COVID-19 shutdown. He's not gone 5 innings in a game. And these Cardinals will play their 3rd doubleheader in 6 days. There's Shears, man, ready to go. 3rd doubleheader in 6 days. And these doubleheaders have not been good to me. Let's see what we are dealing with. Money lines and totals here. Opens at 6.5. Cardinals open up -210. They're now -240. The total opens up 6.5, quickly goes to 6. That all makes me extremely uncomfortable. I don't want to take a tired Cards team. Jason Folks says Cards have that thick doubleheader skin. They seem to do well. Mitch Bruner says factor in the 19-0 ass kicking yesterday the Tigers took. Glenn Elliott, man, talking about Derek King, who we will be breaking down his first game for the Miami Hurricanes. That is this evening. Glenn Elliott, man, can't wait to talk about that. And Tony Mang says, where are my Raptors fans at, though? I love it. Tony Mang. I love it. Jason Folk says, no, -240. Probably a pass. Yes, probably a pass. The weather is nice for low scoring. 6 miles per hour in. Still, not a trigger that I'm going to pull. Game 1, Tigers-Cardinals. And St. Louis Elite cashing with the Lightning. 7 seconds left. 15 straight in the NHL. St. Louis Elite. Extremely impressive. Glenn Elliott, man, leaning Tigers Cards under. If you wanted the Tigers Cards under, you had to pull the trigger at 6.5. 6 is just not something's going to happen. All right, let's talk game 2. Do we already have a line for that? Zimmerman, Gomber, we do. Cards open up at -180, now -185. This total sitting at 7. So if the Cardinals win game 1, I'm going to roll with my man Black Rogue. Yes, Von Polo, I do think I'm going to bet on the Knights tonight. So, yes, I do think that you will get to see a Lightning Golden Knights Stanley Cup final game, Von Polo, which would be magic. Okay. Second game, Tigers, Cards. I'm with Black Rogue. Here. Let's talk about now. I'm certainly not going to make this bet ahead of time. I'm going to wait. But I'd be very curious to see what Zimmerman can do. And C-Mac says Stars tonight. So C-Mac and I are going to be on different sides of the ledger here in NHL. I will be taking the Knights on the -1 line. We will get to that. And there we got Ty Clinton. Wow, Ty. We are all of North America excited to see what Derek King does tonight. In saying that, at what point does UAB have value? Because it's gone from 13.5 to 14.5, probably 15.5 by game time. But that's exciting. Respect to the King family, Ty. Shearsman says, do you have anyone doing U.S. Open tennis? We do have our tennis expert. That's Prince of the City. But we've got to get Prince of the City on the show. But if you were interested, Cheers, the more the merrier. Silence says Detroit team total over 2.5 is +115. Over 2.5 has been money all season for me, even in these shortened games. Over 2.5, very interesting. Look, let's just see what I would get. That's game 1, I imagine. And we're going with a team total by St. Louis Elite, expecting this new offensive line to be rolling right away with Derek King. Let's just quickly go to see what I would be offered here for a team total. Again, we used licensed books in America, just at least in one state, and Bet365 licensed in Jersey. So that is a book that we use. Tigers team total over 2.5, a +120 at my book. Very interesting look. Very, very, very interesting look. Ken Mizrahi says Garrett Cole gets back on track tonight. Maybe, but is it worth it? C-Mac, I don't trust either team. But I think the Knights getting a couple goals. But, we'll get into that. And Glenn Elliott, man, talking about Derek King's last stats that we saw in 2018. They were very, very strong. No doubt about it. Okay, with that being said, I'm with Black Rogue. I know that Gomber has been very good in 14 innings. This is game 2 we're talking about now. But 9 walks, 13 Ks, 9 walks in 14 innings. And the Tigers hitting 308, 864 OPS versus lefties, while the Cardinals are just hitting 243, 715 OPS versus righties. We know that Zimmerman, when he's not dealing with arm fatigue, is capable of having good starts. If we have a tired Cardinals ball club, now we look at 2019 record for Zimmerman, 1-13, 6.91 ERA, 1.52 WHIP. Look, it's weak. But I'm going to have interest. Black Rogue says 14.5, not enough for me to pull the trigger on UAB. Leaning under 55. Not playing it because it took a look at the Cardinals' run line today in game 1. Flaherty on the mound. It's a huge day for St. Louis. All right. Okay, so I have interest in the Tigers game 2 if they lose game 1, and I get a huge price. Okay. Let's go. And Glenn Elliott, man, talking about the day yesterday. Braves scoring 29 runs. Brewers with 19 runs. Okay, let's move on. And MMA Locker Room says, what y'all got to say about my Braves and Yankees now? Look, they put money in my pocket. I doubled up on the Yankees. Could have doubled up on the Braves, but just didn't trust Malone enough. And they still allowed 9 runs in that game. But, all right, let's move on to Astros A's. That is our one doubleheader. And Jason Larry says, remember, Taint. Well, he's Matt Randall. Matt Randall took under 54.5 in the UAB game on Tuesday. Good point, Jason Larry. Thank you for mentioning that. I should copy and paste that. Obviously we all want to talk football badly. So our new order of events is we'll do MLB because it's such a huge amount of work we have to do to get through a card. And then NFL, NCAA football, NBA, NHL is how we're going to do things. All right. And don't forget, Sunday mornings, 11 a.m. Eastern, live NFL football show. I'm going to be on it. Rob Bebenek is going to be on it. And we are going to cycle in special guests throughout the year. And I'm very excited about that. So Sunday morning, 2 hours before kickoff, we're going to be live, breaking down each and every game, talking football starting Sunday, which is going to be extremely enjoyable. So every Sunday morning, 2 hours before kickoff, baby. Nilo says Sunday too, Jimmy. You're going to be working too much. Yes, I think we'll need to figure something out. But right now, the importance is celebrating sports with everything going on outside with this virus. Celebrating sports, celebrating capping together, focusing on the good. Okay, but yes, all year long, Sunday mornings, 2 hours before kickoff, we're going to be live, which is going to be a lot of fun. All right, Astros A's. Jose Urquidy versus Sean Manaea. 68 Fahrenheit, clear, 5 miles per hour, out to right. And A's coming off a walk-off win. Another walk-off win for them. They're just playing good baseball. Jason Folks says Astros get out of town game. They seem to pack it up early in series finales. Junk on bump all day for the Stros. But Shaquille Bell, our man Shaquille Bell, very sharp capper, is on Houston money line. Let's see what he's getting. A's open up at minus 145 at bet 365. Being a 5-cent move towards them, they're now minus 150. This total opened up at 9.5, and it's now at 9. Glenn Elliott, man, Astros 10-7 versus left-handed pitching. Nilo says, I like the Astros. I don't trust Manaea at all. And yes, Joe Free, not every day. We're Tuesday to Saturday. Tuesday through Saturday, Joe, my man, here at 10 a.m., breaking down every single game on the card. Nilo backing the Astros money line at plus 130. So, A's have taken 3 of the first 4 from Houston in this series. They're now up 5.5 games in the division. Impressive. If they win today, They'll be 7-3 in the series, and the Astros will be 6.5 games back with 18 to play. Wow. Urquidy has pitched against these Astros once. Last year, allowed 1 hit, 5 innings, struck out 10. Minaya won his last 3 starts. He's looked good in his last 3 starts. I can understand not trusting that. Johnny K, I was fortunate, but thank you. I was fortunate that it went to overtime. It was an extremely enjoyable game to watch. Minaya, but, there was a couple spots, score tied 106, and playoff Powell has the ball, and they open up the floor for Powell when the ball's got to be in Kyle Lowry's hands. Okay. Yes, I agree with Jason Falk. I agree with Jason Falk. But TJ also making a move here on the Astros' first 5. Minaya also 3.48 ERA in 12 starts against the Astros. So who cares that he's 2-5? He's looked good. Maldonado's hit him hard, 5 for 8. And Bregman 6 for 20 with 3 home runs. I like the way Minaya's looked. But these Astros still hit lefties hard. 262, 809 OPS. This is an extremely important spot for them. C-Mac, you deserved a better fate. John Garcia says, is that trash can noise really making a difference? It must be. Buzznuts on Houston, team total over 4. Shaft says, I'm done with MLB, tired of giving back NBA winnings. I've been there. Trust me, I've been there. D. Summers coming in with his action. And Black Rogue also liking the Stros today. It's just such an important game for the Astros, and it's not that important for the A's. I can understand the idea that we've seen all year long, the Astros on travel days just wanting to get out early. This just doesn't seem like that spot. It doesn't seem like that spot. Joey Work joining us. Great to see you, Joey. And the 9.5 down to 9 already. And David C saying Astros a solid dog today. All right. No moves for me so far on this card. Let's move on to Angels, Rangers, expecting the roof to continue to be closed. In Texas, there's Alex Ramirez. In the house, there's Shane Schwader ready to get to work. Bundy versus Gibson. Bundy versus Gibson. Bundy 4-2, 2.49 ERA, 0.95 WHIP, 55 Ks and 15 2/3, just 12 walks, 4 home runs allowed. He's been very good. He is 55 strikeouts, 15 2/3 innings pitched, are right around the league leaders. 3-1 with a 2.65 ERA and 7 career appearances against the Rangers. Has allowed more than 3 earned runs in the game just once in 8 starts. Last start against the Astros, 2 runs, 6 hits, 7 innings, striking out 8. And Jin Rummy making an interesting point on Urquidy, saying the pitcher is the most important element of a baseball game to be able to make accurate forecasting. Can't trust any game with a small sample MLB pitchers data. And that's what we're dealing with Urquidy. Just 3 2/3 for him. Jason Folks says, shit, I'm all alone over here with the A's. I don't think it. Look, I would definitely not. I'm not going to be on the other side of you. Glenn Elliott Man says Gibson's given up 5 home runs in his last 3. And Joe Free going to keep banking money on Bieber strikeouts over. We got on him early, and our guy TJ, that's what he focuses on, is the strikeout props. He's a huge asset to our team here. Urquidy Minaya. We've done that already. Bundy Gibson. So Angels versus righties, 254, 792 OPS. They hit him hard. Rangers versus righties, 207, 634 OPS. There's Bled's W ready to go. And TJK Prop Machine projects 5.1. He's on Gibson over 4. Gibson over 4 strikeouts. Angels bullpen 4.95 ERA, 1.35 WHIP. Rangers bullpen 4.74 ERA, 1.40 WHIP. Jenny Toole says Angels first 5 the look. What kind of favorite are we dealing with here with the Angels? They open up at minus. Is that right? Minus 192. Open up at minus 192 at Bet365. And now minus 175. Money coming in on Texas. Still opened up at 9. It's now at 8.5. Joshua Bell, thank you for joining us. Buck Nasty. He said it yesterday, stay away from the Angels. Buck Nasty, one of LA's finest, rolling with us. Jim Rummy says Rangers open plus 169. There was value, but man, 3 in a row, still tough. And C-Max's Angels lost last 2. Just don't want Bundy at this price. Don't want Bundy at this price. We still have a vividness bias of Bundy getting touched, but he's been very good this year. North Ender, what up? Great to see you. The Angels are going to cost money. And Michael Irvalina says, my baseball rule, don't bet bad teams. This is a complete stay-away game for him. Brandon Lugo says, Angels 17 and 27. And get these crazy favorite prices. Fade or pass. Glenn Elliott, man, leaning Angels and Bundy today, but value isn't there. And Mr. Ghost, they're still expecting offense. I'm all over LA. First 5 team total over 2.5. Sabino with a beauty 4-1 day. Love hearing that, Sabino. Great work. Prince of the City. There is our tennis expert right there who will be on the show. We need more Prince of the City on the show. We will be talking. But look, Prince of the City, MLB's been very good to us this week. And Jim Rami says, I earn my life betting bad teams. Tony Ming, I try not to. But in NHL and NBA, I do. Not in MLB. I try to take a break. So that Tuesday I'm refreshed and ready to rock. Tony asking if I still lay wood on Sunday and Monday when there's no shows. I play the horses. I try just to relax and regroup. Barry Smith says, where is Noli Knows? No, we have found Noli Knows. He does Wednesdays on our show, Barry, my man. And he will be back next Wednesday. Jason Folk says that's much juice. Yes, it's much juice. It's much juice. But with the way Kyle Gibson's been pitching, Angels are also going to get David Fletcher back. No, we did find him. We did find him, Big Franco. JL says, how about those Braves? Nice catcher. And Spenny Pennybomb says, thanks to Chisel, Rondo cashed me before. See if he can keep his up. It looks like they might have a third wheel. We thought that was going to be Kuzma in the playoffs. It hasn't been. It looks like it's going to be Rajon Rondo. And Ken Mizrahi says, Saratoga's done. I'm sad. Yeah, it's tough. Okay. Let's just look. I know it's probably not worth our money with the Angels scuffling the way they are, but I'd be curious to see what the Angels are. First 5 minus a half. They're minus 130. That is a lot of juice. Against Kyle Gibson, who could improve. There's A1 from the range, ready to go. And Shears, man, with a U.S. Open parlay. Plus 48, 488. Wonder what our Prince of the City thinks about that. Bleds W, today we are going to break down this big Thursday night game together, just you guys and myself. But as I said, Sunday, 11 a.m., 2 hours before kickoff, we're going to be talking NFL heavy. Barry Smith says, Jimmy, how much money do I need to have fun in Vancouver? Well, Barry Smith, you can't have fun right now in Vancouver. They've shut it down after 10 p.m. Only food primaries. There's been a second wave of COVID that's hit Vancouver. So let's wait till it opens up legitimately. And look at Vipe. Wow, Viper. Wow. That's a 22-cent difference from FanDuel and Bet365. What book do you want to be on? Wow, Viper. Wow. That is wild. Okay. Let's go. We move on to Braves Nationals. Still no moves for me yet. And I would like to pull the trigger, and there's opportunities coming. And here's one. Robbie Erlin versus Austin Voth. There's rain in the forecast. Don't like seeing that if you want offense. 78 Fahrenheit rain, 4 miles per hour, sideways across the diamond. Also, do you want to back the Braves? Do you expect the Braves to have offense after putting up 29 runs in the last game? And Bubbarito Barbarito says, anyone here been to Reno, heading over there? Not sure what casino to head for my day layover. Yeah, we got lots of cappers who've been there in the chat. And we got lots of guys from Vegas in the chat. So if you guys can reach out to Barbarito, let him know where he should go. That would be great. All right. Michael Evelina, what state are you in? Says 5 times done. I'm looking around. I feel you. Okay, let's go. JL says, yeah, not betting against Braves with Voth on the bump. No chance. Robbie Erlin, I mean, you wish there wasn't 29 runs scored last game. This total's already gone from 10 to 10.5, and there's an 11 out there. There's Canadian Capper 72 rolling with us. Yeah, Von Polo, we'll hook something up. And wow, Prince of the City not rolling with Shears there. Wow, okay. Bloods W says, seems like another over. We can't jump on an over this late. Mitch Bruner saying FanDuel's in Indiana too. Can't. Braves bullpen, very strong. 3.39 ERA, 1.25 whip. We know Nats hammer lefties, but Braves hammer righties. 279, 865 OPS. They have better numbers against righties than than the Dodgers. That's how good they're doing against righties. Juan Soto is going to be back in the lineup for the Nationals. He returned on Tuesday, went 1 for 2. Soto just 101 at-bats because of injuries and COVID. 356, 11 homers in 101 at-bats. What a monster he is. What an absolute monster. Kanaskat, I'm trying to put that together. I'm working on that. I'll let you guys know tomorrow. Kanaskat asking if Pete will be here on Saturday. I'm working on that. Okay. Erlin made 4 starts for the Braves since being picked up from the Pirates. 3 innings of relief on September 7th against the Marlins. Allowed 2 runs on 5 hits. I mean, he just can't be trusted. Johnny, my man, yes. Felt very good. It felt very, very good watching that basketball game yesterday. It was extremely enjoyable watching our man Kyle Lowry step up. He's the GOAT, man. Greatest Raptor of all time. Erlin Voth. If you wanted to jump on that over, the time passed. Do you want to take the Braves expecting offense after they scored 29 runs and have to travel to D.C.? Mitch Bruner says Nats have the Braves number this year. But you can't trust Voth. This is a tricky spot, man. Braves open up at minus 155. They're now, minus 150. That's where they stand. And as I said, that total's gone up. All right. Still no moves for me. I hope that we can get to some. Let's go to Royals, Indians, Brady Singer versus Aaron Savali. Brady Singer, very interesting cap here. Young pitcher who's, first round pick, dominated his way through the ranks. And now he's come to this show. Last 4 starts being bad, 6.64 ERA. He takes a 7-4 loss to the White Sox. And it was so interesting if you looked at his numbers. He allowed 10 hits. They were all singles against that hard-hitting White Sox ball club. Black Rogue leaning Nationals. There's Chris Brady ready to get to work. Ben Sports says Sinner's been knocked around this year. But all singles to that mighty, mighty White Sox lineup, which means that there was luck in play. Balls just finding holes. Black Rogue says, I bet Cleveland -1. The Royals have never seen Savali. They've never seen Savali. This total opened up at 8.5. It's now moved to 8. See how long it was at 8.5. This is what our guy Simon was talking about off the top of the show. Said it lasted for 10 minutes. Well, I have it at some books it lasted for 6 hours, 8.5 to the 8, when it should have been bet. I know it's so difficult for us while the games that we've bet on are going on, but we need to cap for the next day. Glenn Elliott Mance is Cleveland 12 and 28 to the under. Reginald Luker did get in that under 8.5. Mike Wilkerson taking the over in the Angels game. Bloods W liking the Royals money line. The Indians just aren't hitting. And Singer, major league debut, came at Cleveland. 2 runs, 3 hits over 5 innings, and a 3-2 10-inning Royals win. The Indians are batting .228 as a team. They're They strand 10 runners on base Wednesday, 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. And Savali should be able to shut down this Royals ball club. Who's never seen him? How's Savali been of late? Savali, 2 runs, 5 hits, struck out 6, walked 3 over 6 innings against the Brew Crew on Saturday. Jason Falk liking these Cleveland unders, baby. A1 says, I have a problem with placing new bets with bets still open. That's not my problem. My problem is I'm just so caught up in the bets that I have going that I'm not preparing for the next day until the market is moved too quickly. Let's see what the total is. First 5. Getting a 4.5 there. Against an Indians team that's not hitting. You know, I think Brady Singer is better than he looks. Glenn Elliott, man, it has a Cleveland 5-3. Are they going to score 5 runs in the first 5 innings? Look at that weather. 71 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 11 miles per hour in. Okay, I'm on the first 5 under 4.5. Minus 120. I can only pray that this will be available when I bet it in an hour. Viper MB says I'm on the first 5 under 4.5 too. All right, there we go. We're on the board. I'm rolling with my man Vipe. Royals, Indians, first 5 under 4.5. I can understand why I went from 8.5 to 8. Okay, let's keep rolling along. We have so much to get through today. And there's Prince of the City talking U.S. Open. Thinks Medi wins it all. There we go. And Glenn Elliott, man, playing Beaver games under, and this case over. It's a nice system. And great point by TJ. First 5 is a total of 4.5 or less. Gives so much value to the plus half on the run line. I go there a lot. That makes a ton of sense, TJ. Okay, let's go. Phillies, Marlins, Jake Arrieta versus Sandy Alcantara. Arrieta being a tricky pitcher to figure out. Thanks to Jin Rummy, I stayed off trying to go and take the over in his last start up against Porcello. And he had a nice start. So he looked so bad. He looked so bad. He lasted an inning and a third against the Braves on August 30th, 7 runs, worst start of his career. But he came back on Friday against the Mets. Season high 7 innings. Allowed 2 runs, 1 walk, struck out 7. Arrieta's first start against the Marlins this year. He's 6-1, 3.4 overall at Marlins Park. Very nice. And 8-1, 3.55 ERA and 11 starts against the Marlins. Mr. Gogus is all over the Marlins. Alcantara will hold this Phillies team in check. Willie, can you trust Alcantara now after not seeing him? I mean, he's not been around. He has great numbers against the Phillies in his career. It's not a huge sample size. 5 starts, 4-1, 2.51 ERA. But, 16 2/3, 17 K, 7 walks. And he's been out. He's been gone. Bleds W says Miami always plays Phillies tough. Philly won 12 of their past 16 games. 4th in the majors, runs per game at 5.31. What the hell's Alcantara going to give you? Brandon Lugo has an interesting point here. Phillies coming off an off day. Marlins were dying on the field. Eileen Phils. And Jason Folks says, first look, final game over. Too many pitching question marks. Let's see what we're dealing with here in this Philly-Miami game. Philly opening up at minus 110. They're now minus 115. Did Jake Arrieta get right in that last start? Are we getting value on this Phillies team that's rolling right now? What's Alcantara going to give you? The Marlins bullpen now 5.27 ERA after getting shellacked last night. Went from 4.29 to 5.27 last night alone. Ravi says, I have a lean. Yes, Gio Mercedes, we're going over football heavy. We're going to go over football next. Next will be NFL, then NCAA football. Then we'll go into NBA and NHL. Jin Rummy, looking at that Nats price with Voth, I could understand why. I mean, I know Voth is terrible, but both pitchers, Erlin. I understand, Mr. Gokster, but here, do you want Alcantara? Do you want Alcantara here when we haven't seen him because of COVID? And Arrieta gaining confidence in his last start, always pitches well down in Marlins Park. We have a rested Phillies team that's been hitting the ball hard, and it's just minus 115. Yes, Glenn Elliott, man, the stadium opens and closes. We got to see a game there in person when we had a low bag Summit of Champions in Miami at the gorgeous Diplomat Hotel. Jin Rami says under 9 in the Marlins game, but only minus 106 where it opened. Ben Sports 24/7 says Arrieta only had 2 good starts in his last 5, one against the Mets and one against Washington. Can't be trusted. Every other game he gave up 4 earned runs twice in 70. And this, all right. I do have some interest in the Phillies. Rested Philly squad. Yeah, don't worry. The roof will be closed, Glenn. All right, I think I'm gonna pull the trigger here on the Phillies. This is just a tie. That was a long game. Now they have to come right back at it against a rested Phillies team. This is screaming Philadelphia Phillies to me. All right, I'm on the Phillies. Jin Rami says, my fair line for the Phillies, minus 120, so small value, but not enough for him. It's enough for me. I'm taking the Phillies. It's minus 115 right now. Brandon Lugo says, Miami weak versus righties. Big Franco says, Phillies better bullpen too. Maybe a better bullpen. And Jason Lowry says, yes, it closes. Okay. All right, let's roll. We move on to Red Sox, Rays, Kickham, Fleming. Amazing. Fleming has looked good. These are 2 journeymen that are now meeting in the major leagues. See what we are dealing with from a market perspective here. First 5 total is at 5.5. The full game here at Bet365, Kickham, Fleming. Red Sox plus 180, and this total is at 9.5. Bleds W, like in Rays, first 5. Glenn Elliott, man, giving us a 4-13 stat versus left-handed pitching. Red Sox hit lefties hard, 274, 791 OPS. Rays versus lefties, they hit them well too, 236, 777 OPS. Red Sox bullpen just falling apart. Jin Rami says 2 random pitchers. I'm out of here. As soon as we get more tape on Fleming, I don't expect him to be as good as he's been. Small sample size, 15 and a third. Remember, this guy wasn't even on their radar to start the year. And then kick him. I mean, we have these 2 journeymen going up against each other. Glenn Elliott, man, says kick him for Boston. Yes, kick him for Boston. Rays have lost 2 straight. Over the last 5 games, they're batting just 195. Austin Meadows is falling apart out there. He's 2 for 27 this month. And then the Red Sox got this big spark from Bobby Dalbec. Number 3 prospect for these Red Sox, 25 years old, homered in 4 straight games. He's the only first-year Boston player to ever do that. And there's Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. Great to see you. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk in the house. Bubbarito says, can't find my baseball play today, but definitely slamming Rockets Lakers first half over 113. I can't wait to talk about that. Can't wait. Okay. With all that being said, Red Sox, Rays, I don't know how you could trust either of these. I do not think that Fleming will continue with these numbers. I think he could get touched here. SoCal Real Seller said just a thought Miami bullpen taxed right now. Glenn Elliott Man says Red Sox playing better. Red Sox playing better, but still a 341 ball club. I just think there could be offense. But it's a sleepy Tampa Bay Dome, man. Open at 9, now at 9.5, so I missed that move there. Joseph Gomez, good thing. We enjoy. There's nothing more enjoyable to me than capping NBA. Red Sox Rays. I do think that the over is in play. I'd probably want a full game over. I wish that I got there before the 9 moved to 9.5. It's just, let me just see exactly when that move happened. If it happened in 5 or 10 minutes, then I won't beat myself up for missing it. If it took, it did. It was there all day yesterday. It moved to 9.5. What, 10 minutes ago? All right, that's my fault. That's my fault, and I can't take it now. Very, very upsetting. Captain Marvel says, please always skip over my Red Sox, Jimmy. Big Franco says, Tampa Bay takes a few innings to get going most of the time. Black Rogue says, yeah, that over was the play. No worries. It was. It was. Ben Sports 24/7 says Red Sox seem like a bet against team at this point. Let's see. Can we get in on maybe a Rays team total? Is that going to be a 4.5? No, of course not. 5.5. -1.5. Look at that Red Sox team total. 3.5 at -125. Come on. 3.5. $3.5 against the Red Sox team. I know the Rays bullpen's very good, which would give you pause, but this Red Sox team hitting 274, 791 OPS versus lefties, and you're going to give me a 3.5? I got to take that. All right. Red Sox team total over 3.5. That's a -125. I hear you, JL. I hear you. Let's move on to Orioles, Yankees, Keegan Akin versus Garrett Cole. Ravi Patel saying, I think there's a little value on the Red Sox here. I agree. But I just, God, it'd be this type of thing where if you were Birdie, yeah, I think so. But I just missed it from 9 to 9.5. And if you're going to give me a 3.5 on a team that hits almost 800 OPS against lefties, I'm not going to take bad number. I can't. If I could have got it at 9 and I was lazy or didn't get to the game fast enough or whatever it is, I'm not going to bet at 9.5. I will lose in the long run. MMA locker room, Cole over 8.5 Ks. Bet your lunch money. Says MMA locker room. All right, Big Franco says Yankees here. I'm drinking the juice. Cole fans at least 8 today. Man, that was a nice double up yesterday on the Yankees. Took a lot of flack for it too. And not here on the show, but on Twitter and and on the video. Michael Irvine says Jimmy is the first 5 1.5 team total. Bet365 doesn't give out first 5 team totals because you could beat them on it. CT Bays says Orioles plus 214 have to take that price. Well, let's talk about it. Rain in the forecast, 77 Fahrenheit rain, 6 miles per hour, sideways. Let's see what Bet365 is offering up. -220 for Garrett Cole. Run line at -120. El Capo is nice. I know we don't want to go against our Jays, but it was nice. All right, Aiken versus Garrett Cole. Yankees are now 6-15 in their last 21. It was a big win yesterday. They're just a game and a half ahead of the Orioles, which is just wild to say out loud. 7-2 win yesterday. They went 3 for 8 with runners in scoring position in the game. They had been 2 for 32 in those spots. Sanchez is just playing so poorly. Glenn Elliott Man says New York is 3-6 versus left-handed pitching. Let's talk about this left-handed pitcher, Keegan Aiken. 5 1/3. He's already gone up against Cole. Pitched 5 1/3 scoreless. He's holding opponents to a 174 batting average. He's 8 for 46. He's allowed just 2 unearned runs in 9 2/3. Excuse me. Busnut says Baltimore team total over 3.5 plus 105. Big Franco says Cole gets back on track today. Yankees. Sometimes the good things cost. I'm certainly not going to pay the price for Cole. Look at this Orioles bullpen, too. 3.86 ERA, 1.26 whip. Yankees don't hit lefties. Not only are they 3-6 against them, as Glenn Elliott Man posted, but they're hitting just 217, 708 OPS against them. I like it, CT Base. I like it. Tyrone Coleman taking that first 5 under here. First 5 under. That's an interesting look. Oh, man. We are very proud of everything G does. She's fine. She's fine, Prince. Fine. Okay. First 5 under is interesting. Is Cole going to get right here? Aiken's been so good. Yankees aren't hitting lefties. That makes a ton of sense to me. That's a great look. Use Cole, use Aiken. First 5 under 5. I like it. SoCal Reseller says the problem here is New York just saw Aiken. I agree, but they just don't hit lefties. And Glenn Elliman says Cole 6 homers allowed the last 3. There's Marco Ortega. Great to see you, Marco. Great to see you, my man. Got Marco rolling with us. I just think that when else have we got a chance to grab Garrett Cole at this number? And that's because of him getting hit of late. This is a huge game for the Yankees. Glenn Elliman says Orioles just saw Cole too. Travel day. And look at this, the Czar, 5 Czar lock. Wow, the Czar. I think there's value on the Phillies Czar. Southpaw giving a shout out to our Lodals Low Shack. And Bright Ware saying we're not taking Cole till he wins. It just feels like it's got to be a spot where he turns it around. I feel you, Marco. Thank you, man. Thank you. Just dropping by to show some love. Ravi says Yankees will not lose today. Look, I'm not going to find out at minus 220. Okay, let's keep rolling here. Next up, we have Reds, Cubs. Sonny Gray. What a strange start he had. He was looking so good, and then he doesn't get out of the first inning, September 1st. So they've given him an extra few days. Puts his start back by 4 days. Says he's rested and ready to go. He allowed 6 runs, 5 hits, 3 walks, got 2 outs against the Cardinals on September 1st. Let's see what El Capo's action is. Adbert Azalea, the young righty pitching for these Cubbies. And look at that wind. 64 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 14 miles per hour in. Man, I was thinking about you guys on the under yesterday. 3 runs in the first inning with that Moose homer, and you guys still cashed that under 3.5. And everybody cashed the full game under. Reds, Cubs, Gray, Alzolay. Alzolay, this total's at 7. Reds are at minus 130. The cost of the profit here to cash 3 days in a row. I love it. Glenn Elliman says Cubs under 5 in a row, Reds under 4 in a row, another under today. The wind sure is calling for it. Chicago's lost 5 of 8. God, it's all good. Chris Smith fighting the good fight. Czar said Reds was a great spot last night. Razor Sharp says Miami opened up at plus 105 and are now minus 105. And public hammering the Phils because of what happened last night's 31 game. The Long Acres Mile goes today. Thank you for the reminder, Dean. Wow, I totally forgot about that. And Brady says, are we a bit early to start looking at which team needs to win more? I don't know if we are. And what can we trust Sonny Gray? Yeah, Emerald. I love Emerald Downs, man. Cleveland -1 is the Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day. I need to see Sonny Gray get over what happened. I'm sure he will. He's a vet, but I'd like to see it in action. Let's go Giants, Padres. We have 2 games left on this card, and then we move into football. Giants, Padres, 79 Fahrenheit clear, 9 miles per hour in. Cahill, Paddock. And El Capo's parlay plus 790. Clearly, a man says that cool day in Chicago and wind should help the under. Let's go Cahill, Paddock. Can we trust either of these 2 pitchers right now? There's talk that if the Padres get to the playoffs, Paddock won't even be on their roster. This total sitting at 9. Black Rogue already on Giants money line. Giants 272, 777 OPS versus righties. Padres 268, 848 OPS versus righties. Paddock does not look good. 4.75 ERA now. Still has a great K to walk ratio. He's just allowed 10 home runs. Brandon Lugo said Giants team total over again. They've gone over 3.5, I think 11 in a row. Is there a 3.5 here? Holy shit, 3.5. 3.5. How do you not take Giants team total over 3.5? Padres bullpen is improving. Got off to that terrible start. 3.5 for this Giants offense is rolling. Paddock 1-4 in his last 6 starts, 20 earned runs, 35 hits, 8 home runs. There's Matt Randall in the house. It happens, Matt, my man. Yeah, I agree. I agree with El Capo. How do we not take 3.5? I agree slats over is the play. Yeah, maybe I don't need to be cute, take the Giants team total over when I could just take this full game over. Why not? Why wouldn't you want to use both teams here? Jenny Toole's loving that team total over for the Giants. 3.5. Let's take both teams. Let's use Cahill too. Jin Rummy says it's accurately priced. No, we have not, right where. We're going to get there now. That weather is not helpful, though. 79 Fahrenheit clear, 9 miles per hour in. Oleg already took that Giants team total over 3.5. They're going to have to get us a rinky-dink offense with that wind coming in. Connor Mack likes it. Anthony Daly says Paddock can beat the subpar teams, but his issues with playoff teams. His problem was exposed last year with his jealousy towards Pete Alonso regarding NL Rookie of the Year. Yeah, gotta be the look here. Over 9. CT Bay's taking the Giants plus 160. I think KL can get touched as well. Both bullpens have improved. Are we better off, I wonder, taking the first 5? What is the first 5? At 5. All right. Stephen Glass, I need to cap the rest of the card. But okay, if I could only pick one team for a win today, it depends. Juice is so important. I don't want to give you a minus 170. Okay. Over 9. Let's do it. Okay. And then we get the Dodgers, Diamondbacks. Those of you being back in the Dodgers on the run line, I mean, it's just unbelievable that you guys have been getting away with it. Yesterday, you got away with it again. Unbelievable. And Jin Rami saying, danger. I'm a little nervous now. Dustin Mavers, Mad Bum. Dodgers versus lefties is 230, 691 OPS. D-backs have the same struggles versus righties, 235, 700. Dodgers bullpen very good. Dodgers are 5-1 now in extra inning games, beating the Diamondbacks 7 straight times. Bumgarner does not look good, 8.44 ERA. 9 home runs allowed in 21 and a third. Crazy. Dodgers open up at minus 200. They're now minus 240. The man says Dodgers 9-2 versus left-handed pitching, but that doesn't tell the whole story. They're just an incredible ball club. Nice job, Chili Dog. Oh, thank you, Spenny. And Jim Remy says, I'll try to take a stand here against the Dodgers in many ways. Okay, and Birdie ready to get to NFL. Let's do it. I'm going to stay off this game. I do think that Mad Bum can step up in this situation. You have to think that Dustin May can shut down this group. This full game total is at what? At 9.5. This first 5 is at 5.5. I know this. All right, that was tough. You know what? This Mad Bum. I guess we can't look at his career numbers obviously against the Dodgers because he's just a different pitcher. God, you have to think he's going to show something here. And Chili Dog says, Bum looks like a dumpster fire. All right. I do think that under 5.5 is something that should be looked at. Okay. No, we have not. Mitch Morris, my friend. We're going to do that right. We're going to do NFL and NCAA football first. Okay, let's look at what we are dealing with. And Bled Subby saying Carrot Top can be suspect sometimes. So, again, if the Cardinals win game 1, I have interest, possibly. Maybe I shouldn't, but I do have some interest in the Tigers game 2, just because of the way they hit lefties. And today's action includes Royals, Indians, first 5 under 4.5. Phillies minus 115. I wonder if that's a mistake. Just arrested Phillies ball club. Red Sox team total over 3.5 at minus 125. Orioles, Yankees, first 5 under 5 at minus 105. And Giants, Padres over 9. And El Capo says same. Do you mean if St. Louis wins game 1, I like Detroit game 2? Okay, there you have it. That is MLB. Great work. Thank you, chat, for your great insights and hard work. All right, let's move on to NFL. It is finally here, our first game since February. And Prince of the City says anything Philly except food is a mistake. You're right. Use a cheesesteak right now. All right, NFL. How exciting is this? We've made it. We are here. Thursday Night Football, a rematch. A rematch of the divisional round playoffs, which is one of the most wild games you could possibly imagine, with that huge deficit the Chiefs found themselves in and then getting back so easily. And look at this shit. Wow. Money coming in fast on the Chiefs. Opened at 10, went down to 9. Still at 9 at some books, but it looks like that's changing in a hurry. A. Hilly on KC Houston under 55. Walla Walla Dose looking for team totals. I can tell you the team totals right here. Wow. So no chance of an 8.5, clearly. This is going up. The full team totals are the Texans at 21.5 and the Chiefs at 32.5. That Chiefs team total is juiced to the over. And can we get a first half team total here? Here we go. First half. Let's get first half team total. 16.5 for the Chiefs. Wow, 16.5 for the Chiefs. seems like it's very possible. Talk Sports with JT says no Clowney, no Hopkins. Let's break this down. First NFL game since February. So it opened at 10, as I said, bet down to 9. Now we have 9.5s on the board. Total opened up at 55. Now we're sitting with 54s across the board. 54s across the board. There were 54.5s, now 54s. All right. So one of the toughest places to possibly play Arrowhead, and now there's going to be 17,000 fans. So this is one of the handful of teams that's allowed to have fans, which is pretty crazy right now. Birdie says, I will give you all an in-game look. Wasn't that incredible last year? Chiefs were 5-0 straight up and down by 10 points. Unbelievable. Walla Doe says, yeah, not playing a side or total lean. KC under, just looking for a prop. Or that KC first half team total over. It does seem vulnerable, that 16.5. And Black Rogue says, O'Brien is an idiot. How is he still employed? I agree. Beach Boss, Chiefs first half -6. And JL taking the points with the Texans. All right. So the capacity is capped at 22%. So there'll be 17,000 fans there. Now we have a Texans team that has no DeAndre Hopkins and no Carlos Hyde. So can a healthy David Johnson replace Carlos Hyde? I find that very difficult to believe. Very difficult to believe. Can Brandon Cooks and Randall Cobb replace DeAndre Hopkins? Even that. I mean, I'm not, no disrespect to Cooks and Cobb, but DeAndre Hopkins is spectacular. Then we have a new defensive coordinator in Anthony Weaver, new special teams coach in Tracy Smith. So can you expect Anthony Weaver, a new coach with no exhibition, to shut down the Chiefs? I don't see how. And CT Bay saying Cooks might not play. So there was going to be all this negative energy in this locker room, but then they extend Watson for $160 million. So the Chiefs give Mahomes an enormous contract. They take care of Chris Jones and Travis Kelce, and then they don't have anything else. So they can't bring in free agents. They do pick Edwards-Helaire first round. He's going to start at running back. He's a beast. Then they have players opt out. The big one is our Canadian, Laurent Duvernay-Tardif. So he, with the COVID crisis happened where we got just, and I'm sure it was the same in the States, but it was our long-term care facilities, all our senior centers got just completely destroyed, and especially in Quebec. And so that's where he went. He went right and started working because he's a doctor. He went right and started working in these long-term care facilities, and he's also going to be going to Harvard for part of this time. So he's taking the season off. He's beloved up here in Canada. So he's off. Who else? Breland and Mike Pennell are suspended for the start of the season. Okay, so now let's go into like trends and how we see this game banging out. So the Chiefs, 5th overall, 28.2 points per game. The weak point of the Texans last year, which is why they brought in the new coordinator, is they were 30th in the NFL with yards after catch. So you have this terrible yards after catch football team. You have the Chiefs that are incredible with their receivers' yards after catch. You have a new defensive coordinator in the Texans. You have no exhibition season. And then we go to these Super Bowl champs starting the season at home. Now, I know it's not going to be a big party because of the virus and because there's only 17,000. It's going to look strange. But those Super Bowl champions starting the season are 14-2 straight up, 11-4-1 against the spread. So all that being said, I'm going to take the Chiefs. And I'm with Dutch Boy Fresh here. JL says Watson ain't scared. Watson's incredible. I mean, how do you not love Deshaun Watson? You don't love football if you don't love Watson. But you take away DeAndre, you give him these two guys. So Birdie has a good point. Says this will be the healthiest the Houston D will be this year. But he's not on this game at all. Okay. But he's leaning Houston points and the under. They have a healthy J.J. Watt. But to me, this Chiefs team is too good. And a defensive coordinator. So one thing that why we like unders to start the year is because the defense is always further ahead than the offense. But now we have a defense on the Texans side with a brand new defensive coordinator who did not get a chance to roll out the defense. He's only seen it in practice. A Hilly, interesting point there. Dennis Garcia saying Watson is great. He's incredible. And I'm going to get in on this -9. I understand the -6. I don't want to double up, but that's a pretty big first half. I also think that the Chiefs' 16.5 team total in the first half is appealing. Again, I don't want to double up here. Bleds W says, I see Chiefs winning by 3 in a tight game. Big Frank is going to take Texans first half team total over. I do like that 16.5. 2 touchdowns in the field goal, and you get this team total over with the new defensive coordinator. Then they can run the ball and kind of slow it down in the second half. Brady says it's not a game you want a bunch of money on. I agree. And Dennis Garcia, interesting point here with the coaches, says, I wanted to take Houston, but Reed versus O'Brien with 5 months to prepare is a huge mismatch. There's Juan Ruiz. Great to see you, Juan. Glenn Man says, what about KC team total over? Prince of the City. Spendy Penny Bomb saying Bill O'Brien is so bad. And Anthony Daly are looking at 272.5 passing yards with Deshaun Watson. John Garcia going with the Super Bowl hangover trend. Well, the Super Bowl champs are 14-2 in their last 16 openers. And 11-4-1 against the spread. Now, generally, the spread with the Super Bowl champs aren't quite this high. But I don't know if that trend exists, John. Tommy Bolt says Chiefs start slow, though, especially with and I don't want to double up. Ixnizzle, Jimbo Slice, NFL play of the day. Chiefs Texans, first quarter over 10. Wow. First quarter over 10. Wow. I'm going to see if I can get that. It's giving me alternative totals. Let me see if first quarter totals. 10. 10 is wildly low. It is. It's 10. I guess the problem is that 10. Glenn Man says 58% chance of showers in KC. CT Bay says Watson is the quarterback you want for a backdoor cover. First quarter over 10. How bad are these offenses going to be early? Big Franco says it might be 10 for a reason. Yeah, I can understand that. Two touchdowns is not. George Wood says mixed extra point. Don't want that 10. Okay, I'm starting off my NFL season. Maybe this is believed to be a square, but I'm making one bet here. I'm betting on the Chiefs -9. And it's funny that the money's coming in on the Chiefs because the way it looked like there might even be an 8.5 at some point. All right, Chiefs -9, full game. That's how I'm starting off my NFL season. And Barry Smith says possible rain out in the Yankees game. All right, there we go. Birdie laughing. Yes, that's how I'm starting out my NFL season. Dutch Boy Fresh says you don't like 2.5 TD passes from Mahomes plus money. No, it's not that I don't. I just need to watch. It's just there's a lot of question marks right now, Dutch. And I mean, sure, I like the plus money stuff, but I just don't want to be too invested in too many spots here in this game. That's more the situation. And then we have an offense that hasn't been against an opposition yet, and that's my feeling. But I don't dislike it. All right, let's move on to NCAA football. UAB, Miami. Blazers, Canes. And the 14.5s are gone now. Interesting. So Miami opens up at 13.5, about 365. It goes up to 14.5. And at that point, I'm like, man, could this even go up higher than that? It is not. Is now come back at 14. This total opened up at 51.5. It's now at 54.5 or 55. And Birdie says, well, I will say this. If you'd like the Chiefs to cover, you'd be crazy not to take that 2.5 prop. You know, everybody's going to expect a ton of passing from the Chiefs. And their first-round pick is a running back who could be the star of the show. Brightware says -9 is too much for KC. You know, we'll see. We'll see. And C-Max says, got to take Watson getting almost 10. I'm going to take the Chiefs to handle this Texans team. And MMA Locker Room looking at a prop here. Edwards. TD at -125. If Edwards is minus money to get a TD, as Benny says, that doesn't mean Mahomes can't pass for 3 and Hilaire get 2. If Hilaire gets 2, I mean, are there going to be 5 touchdowns scored? I mean, if the team total is just 32.5. Okay. John Garcia said game opened 11. I saw it open at 10, but okay, Black Rogue. Let's let Black Rogue, our man Black Rogue, get us rolling here. Says UAB isn't there yet. They are good, but I feel Miami is enough on defense to shut down the run. Lean Miami under 55. All right. And big point that Sean Alex is making. Tim Kelly calling the plays this year, not O'Brien. Remember anything, Jeff, that Chris Jones didn't play the last 2 times they met? Okay, Jason Lowry. Let's move on to NCAA football. Says I help oversee Canes production meetings and work football camps with the team. They're pumped. Wow, Jason. What an exciting thing to have Jason with us, rolling with us. And Katie Chef by Chef Jeff says Texas DBs are soft. Hey, Haley, I was interested in UAB plus 14, but let's break it down together and let's talk. Jared Trader already on UAB plus 14. That was my thinking too. We know that they're pumped, but my thinking was the exact same. They're going to need some time for their offense to gel. And George Wood, UAB, much better coach. Glenn Elliott, man, Miami team total with Derek King. Okay, let's talk about it. So Derek King transferring from Houston to Miami. We talked about what he did in 2018. He sets a record in the AAC. 50 touchdowns, 36 through the air, 14 on the ground. But you have a new quarterback. You have a new offensive coordinator in Rhett Lashley. So he's come in. Then you have a new offensive line coach in Garen Justice. And that offensive line was awful last year. So I understand the need for a new offensive line coach. The Hurricanes were bad last year. 6-7. They lose their final 3 games, 2 against Conference USA teams. Florida International and Louisiana Tech. And Manny Diaz looked terrible last year. They lose DJ Dallas, their leading rusher. KJ Osborne, their leading receiver. Brevin Jordan returns. He could go in the first round next year. And Cameron Harris rushed for 576 yards last year. He's going to be very good. Black Rogue says Hurricanes didn't have a quarterback. And they didn't. No doubt about that. A. Hilly says on the Miami side, the OC in Miami is running a completely new scheme. Will take time to adjust. Now, catered to you by Chef Jeff talking about Central Arkansas. There's Ari Miller. Great to see you, Ari. Thank you for joining us. Focus on your bets. Corey Simmons on the over 55. Okay. So let's talk about that catered to you by Chef Jeff. Well, let's get there. Okay. So their offense is going to be good still. Miami. You got Harley, D. Wiggins. They're going to be good. Let's talk about UAB. So we talked about it last week. They win Conference USA's Western Division. They get killed by FAU in the championship game. And they didn't look great in the New Orleans Bowl, losing 31-17. They were in the lead in that game. So we start with their defense. Finished top 10 nationally defensive metrics each of the past 2 years. 8th in pass defense, 11th in sacks, 14th in tackles for loss. 8th nationally in both total defense and passing defense. 9th in the country in yards allowed per play. And they return almost everybody. Bronte Harris, their cornerback, is going to have a lot of work to do in this game, but he's very good. He missed last season with foot injury. Jordan Smith comes back, one of the top rushers in the nation. So you read the 45-35 win over Central Arkansas, but it wasn't as bad as it looked. Central Arkansas's touchdown came on a fumble recovery, and their final 2 touchdowns where the UAB was up 45-21. They brought in the reserves, and Central Arkansas put up a couple late touchdowns. Okay. So Chris Mole was the Conference USA Defensive Player of the Year. He's back. Everybody's back. Big Franco says those Central Arkansas scores were cheap. Glenn Man says finding player props on Derek King can't seem disappointing tonight. And then if you go to offense, Spencer Brown, Austin Watkins, Sammy Watkins' brother. Running back, wide receiver duo strong. Brown rushed for 127 against Central Arkansas easily. Watkins caught 7 passes for 72 yards against Central Arkansas. And Tyler Johnston threw another pick. It's just his Achilles heel. He just throws picks. Brightware, I'll go over it in a second here. John Garcia's on UAB money line. Wow. Smith Legacy says, yeah, UAB may be overrated. Miami always has great athletes and speed. Now if the real quarterback could get ugly. I think that's possible, Bertie. I think it's possible people see the 45-35 score to Central Arkansas that weren't watching the game. Black Rogue, I get it. Miami Hurricanes are going to be very good this year. Are they going to be very good this year now, here? SoCal Reseller says, any stock in UAB already playing game? I think there has to be. A. Hilly says that O-line was so bad last year, and I don't see it as a strength this year, especially in game 1. A. Hilly says UAB has continuity, experience, and an edge of coaching. Defense is one of the better group of 5s. The more we talk about it and break it down, I think UAB can be in this game and stay in this game. I think the Hurricanes are going to be very good. Are they going to be very good week 1? No doubt, Smith. No doubt. Central Arkansas versus you, no comparison, talent, athletic ability. No comparison. Big Franco says, no, Jimmy, don't do it. Black Rogue agrees the UAB advantage continuity. Top set, Miami team total over. First half team total over. Our man Topset Elio is out there in Miami. Captain 24/7's on the over. King Art says, when's the last time UAB beat an ACC team? Look, you don't need to beat them outright. Katie by Chef Jeff says, if UAB is a pick, why not take the over as well? Because if UAB covers, this could go under. Wow, John Garcia says UAB has a spread posted in the locker room. I saw the picture. Wow. Tata Booker. Oh, Tata, we have missed you so much. Look at this. Tata Booker in the house. Oh, man. Inspired. Tata Booker rolling with us. Been too long. So sweet. Mitch Bruner says, never trust Miami. Tata, what moves are you making on today's card? I'd love to hear what you're on. Hey, Haley, my biggest concern on Miami on the season is Manny Diaz. Okay. I am going to pull the trigger here. I'll let Miami prove me wrong, which they can easily do. I am going to be – I need the 14. I'm going to be on UAB plus 14. UAB plus 14. In. Locked in. Topset says Manny's going to open up the offense with his new coordinator. And Tata being eating off the Stars. I like it. I do want to fade your Dallas Stars tonight, though. Except the other day, says Tata. I hear you. Hey, they've looked good. Yes, you can, John Garcia. Yes, you can. There's Paco Healy ready to get to work. George Wood, I don't think the public is going to stay on UAB. Okay, there we go. There's NFL and NCAA football. There we go. UAB plus 14. And I wonder. Joseph Gomez says UAB 0-3 against spread when playing top 30 schools. Tata Booker saying, no, Jimmy, they got this. I wonder if that under is in play. And FanDuel is sitting at plus 14.5 right now. That is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. And NCAA football, my unit size is going to be small. I'm just going to bet $100 on this game, so it's not like I'm going to have a ton invested. It's going to be small. I like it, Robert. I like it. And Dennis Garcia says, don't think UAB is competing in a shootout. No, if this game is way over, then Miami's going to cover easily. Yes, we did. We did. Sorry, my man Paco. Yeah, we went MLB, NFL, NCAA. Let's get into NBA right now. Okay, let's go. And Black Rogue saying King might be player of the year in ACC. And Kanaskat liking the under. Chris McCombie saying King is the real deal. All right. Let's get to work right now. We have one game in NBA. Am I losing that baby face? Says Intex. I'm in terrible shape. That could be it. Intex. And these long hours of grinding out these cards are very difficult. The Czar in NBA 2-1, not bad. Yeah, we've been on a great run, but the Nuggets hurt me. We did get bailed out, Dennis. That's facts. Okay, freshest look of the year from our Dutch boy Fresh. Lakers -5. I, too, am on the Lakers -5. Let's get into NBA. 1-1 yesterday, down 0.10 units. But we are 160 and 136 on the season, hitting at 54.1%, up 12.27 units. ROI plus 4.15%. Average line -108. They are, Paco. They are, but our COVID numbers are going up fast. So, like, Vancouver just shut down again, pretty much. Not fully shut down, but we're a little concerned right now. I moved on the Lakers last night at -5. And I didn't think it was going to be available today when I woke up. I thought it'd be 5.5. It's not. This total opened up at 220.5. There are 218s on the board right now. And there's Sportsman of the Year. Got lucky lefty, Tata Booker rolling with us. Okay. West semis, game 4. Lakers lead the series 2-1. When we were watching that game, the reason why I have to take the Lakers at 5 points is because you can cover 5 if you take the lead in the last 2 minutes of the game. The way I see it, the Rockets have to be playing at their very best to have a 3 or 4 point lead on the Lakers. The Lakers can be playing average and still be in control. And I had no concern watching game 3. Now, if the Lakers win easily tonight, and they're up 3-1, I may make a move on the Rockets. I also think that the Rockets can come out fast. If you talk about James Harden and what bothered him, he said we weren't in attack mode. He said they did a good job of trapping, and we didn't make them pay for it. He said the problem was pace. I think they're going to come out and attack right now. If you look at the Rockets' pace, and we've talked about it a lot in the 8 seeding games, there's 107.35 possessions a game. That keeps dropping. And this series, they're at 95.17 possessions a game. So they're getting over 12 possessions less a game right now in this series than they were in the 8 seeding games. LeBron James is being dominant. He's being so good and so good defensively. Those 4 block shots, I mean, they're just enormous momentum shifters. But Houston has been struggling with turnovers, and they've been struggling late. El Capo says, I think Houston wins. NBA would love to. George Wood says Caruso's defense underrated. Yes, Raymond Reddington, we did MLB. We did MLB, NFL, NCAA football, now NBA, and then NHL. But we'll go over everything. Paco Healy said that game went under due to the pace. No doubt about it. And Glenn Man says, Lakers Clippers, here we come, just like I told you. Yes, that's exactly what everybody is waiting for and been talking about all year. So, my pleasure, Raymond. Thank you for joining us. Ado Zudir is on Rockets first half. What I want to do is I want to take Rockets first quarter. I'm on the Lakers -5, but I expect Harden to really preach. Shit, it's moved to 9.5, bet 365 for the Chiefs as we're speaking. I expect Harden to be saying that nonstop to the guys in the locker room. And Robert Allen's already on Lakers first quarter, first half in full game. Wow. I think that they are going to be listening to Harden. And I think they're going to attack early. So let's see what we're getting on first quarter. First quarter here. We're getting a +1.5. And that sounds good to me. Tony Manning says talk props too. I will. Cub Kamek says I think Rockets come out firing and it takes the Lakers a quarter or two to heat up. Cub Kamek, that's exactly. I'm already on the Lakers -5. I am now going to add the Rockets first quarter. +1.5. Lakers -5. Schnizzle says Harden will play damn near the whole first quarter, barring any foul trouble. And Raymond Reddington says, always hard for me to watch a show since I'm in Europe. Just finished work, 5:34 p.m. here in Norway. Respect, Raymond. Thank you for joining us. That's very cool. Topsa says Rockets first quarter is my only play last night. C-Max on Lakers -5. Stephen Glass on Lakers -5. Dizzy Rothstein does not trust Harden. Says he's a bum and a point shaver. Sean Allen says Rockets were also up in the last game until they got sloppy and gave away 7 turnovers almost repeatedly for the Lakers to go on a run. Seal the deal in that second half. Intech says, I don't think Harden is a great leader, as he showed in a couple of years in the playoffs, because he basically quit on the team. Maybe he's matured. I think that he can lead this team, and I think he's handled, Westbrook quite well. And C-Mac saying, don't love it, but surprised it's low. Thought it'd be -6 or -6.5. I think it'll be -5.5 or -6 by game time. Sportsman of the Year says there's no way the Lakers are going to lose tonight. Glenn Elliott, man on the Dodgers, Lakers moneyline parlay. I'm on Rockets first quarter +1.5, Lakers -5. Full game. Let's go into player props, which I'm going to stay away from. I'm going to continue doing what's been working for me. And that is sides and totals. And I'm also going to stay away from the total here because I don't believe in that 95 pace. I just don't believe in it. And if that's the case, then the over might be in play. But I can't. I have to see the pace increase. I just have to see the pace increase before I make a bet saying the pace is going to increase drastically. It does make me think. I mean, how can the Rockets keep playing this slow? It's all good, Matt. Take your time, man. We still have NHL to get to, so we still got about 10 or 15 more minutes. Just feels like I had this feeling and I was wrong on the Raptors game. Ixnizzle says it's hard to predict these totals with these two teams. I'd rather pick a side and play that. I think the problem is that the Rockets can be so streaky. The Rockets have to do exactly what Harden said. We weren't in attack mode. They have to be in attack mode. They have to be. And if they're in attack mode, it'll be more scoring. But this pace keeps slowing down. And Ixnizzle says LeBron can hold the ball damn near half the shot clock. That's a problem. The Lakers' pace in the 8 seeding games is 101. So far in the playoffs is 99.69, so it's pretty close. Glenn Elliott, man, hit LeBron over 28.5 points. Let's take a look at props. Robert Cherry's got Kuzma over 9.5. Davis under 13.5 boards. Danny Green over 6.5. And back to the well with Covington. Is Covington have a broken nose? You know what? That's very important to know what ended up happening with that hit, that inadvertent elbow he took from AD. Let's just see this quickly. But that second half, they fell apart. Let's see what Covington has. Questionable. And it hurts that they don't have Daniel House. And that fan says Covington's fine. Spenny, I hear you. But most of that game it looked like the over was going to hit. What happened was the Raptors didn't score a point in the last 4 minutes and 12 seconds of regulation. So, yes, I got bailed out that the teams went to OT, but the pace did quicken in that game. So, there's no doubt that I got bailed out. But let's just, just to answer that question about, we can talk about it tomorrow. Well, why don't we talk about that pace tomorrow? But that the pace did quicken. And, with 5 minutes left in the game, I thought I was going to hit the over in regulation. Okay, let's go to player props here for Lakers Rockets. We're going to go to points. We've already seen what Robert Cherry is doing. We have AD at 28.5 points, LeBron at 29.5, Kuzma at 12.5. Kuzma is juiced to the under. Danny Green at 8.5, heavily juiced to the under. Covington at 11.5, juiced to the under. If you want to look at what props are being juiced to the over, Jeff Green, who started out the playoffs so strong, he's at 11.5, juiced to the over. PJ Tucker's at 6.5 points, juiced to the over. Russell Westbrook, 23.5, juiced to the over. Eric Gordon, 17.5 is a pick'em. Gio Mercedes, if I had a free play, I would take the over. But without House, I don't want to put my money on it. But I do think that Harden is going to be true to his word and run. I think they are going to attack. Addo says Gordon over 17 points is good. You'd have to study it, but obviously of the last couple games, he's been looking very strong. All right. We have the Taint play of the day in. Dodgers, Diamondbacks under 9.5. Taint play of the day in. The Taint is in. I like that. Let me just make sure I can copy and paste this here. I like that under in the Dodgers game. And they scared me off of it. Oh, that makes me want to make a move on it. Marco Lou says, I see the Marlins sucking again. I hope so, Marco. I hope so because I'm on the Phillies. MHB has nice points. It's Harden getting double teamed. His assist prop looks good. That's a very interesting look. Let's see what Harden assists are. LeBron at 8.5, juiced to the under. Harden's at 6.5, heavily juiced to the over. I did Robert Cherry. I was on him. It felt good. Dav Fan says, have you been tailing Taint? I pick and choose with Taint. But one thing I do is that if Taint correlates with any of my feels, I pull the trigger. Okay, so let's move on from NBA. I'm going to take Rockets first quarter plus 1.5, Lakers -5. And again, if I had a free play, and if this total keeps dropping, maybe I get ballsy and take the over. But Rockets first quarter plus 1.5, Lakers -5 is my action. There's Lamont Williams in the house. And I'm going to now back my plan that I had. I'm going to take the first 5 under in Dodgers Diamondbacks at 5.5. If it correlates with sweet Taint, I move on it. First 5 under 5.5. All right, there's Dutch Boy Fresh. Okay. Yes. Oh, we've all seen it. We've all seen it for years, Matt Randall. It's the most famous play of the day for a reason. Okay. All right, let's move on to NHL. And then we will have 5 sports. Glenn Elliott Man says, rolling the dice with Mad Bum. Yikes. Yes, I am. Yes, I am rolling the dice with Mad Bum. Okay, here we go. NHL. God, I thought we were going to hit that plus 135 Islanders first period. Thought we were going to do it. Gio Mercedes, we'll go over everything. Proud Babylonian. We use the legal licensed American books, and I'm using Bet365. Okay. Okay. Index. Okay. Birdie said I should have bet that under in the Islanders game yesterday. I do think that's going to move in that direction. But let's talk Night Stars. So Heiskanen is being so good. Spectacular in these playoffs. And Jamie Benn has been good. 18 games, 5 goals, 9 assists, 14 points, but he's still a -2. Tyler Seguin can't be trusted. And if you're getting nothing from Seguin, and Pavelski had a couple of huge games and is not scoring, Corey Perry is tired and old, although he draws penalties and he's still a helpful player that I would take on my hockey team any day of the week. And Oleg hit with that under. And reviews with Von Polo. My guy Von Polo saying 6+ Sports Live today for the first time in sports history. Yeah, it's wild. Absolutely wild. All right. Knights, Stars. Tyler Seguin hasn't scored a point in 6 games. The Stars have gone 117 minutes, 24 seconds without scoring. Leonard has 2 straight shutouts. The Golden Knights sort of got off the schneid that was inflicted on them by Thatcher Demko and the Canucks by scoring 3 goals in a second. I'm not sure, Von Polo, because I don't know if it'll be on by October 4th because they're trying to speed things up. I'm not sure. I'll look into that. Brittany says, fade the Stars. Have to. Yeah, it would be incredible, Von Polo. Man, I wish I could get down there. Lamont Williams, max betting St. Louis under 6 and Tampa Bay game over. Is that the first game, Lamont? Spenny Penny Bombs and I are on the same look here. Vegas -1. And the Czar lives in Vegas. Nice. Glenn Elliott Man says Tampa wins a cup over Vegas. Robert Allen. Ryan Reeves is the type of player like Wilson in the Caps, like Tom Wilson in the Capitals. They're so hard to find. And they're so important. And they're so important when you play a team every second night. I'm a huge Ryan Reeves fan, even though, we despise him. Canucks fans despise him. But he's just so important to hockey teams, and he's extremely special hockey player. El Capo said Leafs need a Ryan Reeves. Every team, any team that wants to win in the playoffs needs a Ryan Reeves, but you can't find him because usually the tough guys aren't fast, and Ryan Reeves can skate. Okay, this is a pretty simple look for me. The core players, other than Heiskanen, for the Dallas Stars aren't stepping up. George Wood says Tom Wilson can score, not Reeves. I agree, but I think Reeves could beat up Tom Wilson. Jeff Joseph says, Jimmy, any thoughts on the plate? Yes, I've been studying the Queen's plate. I just need a little bit more time, but I will be pulling the trigger and, tweeting it out and all that good stuff, Jeff. Jeff, I'm going to connect with you. Dennis Garcia says, why the Leafs ever got rid of Kadri? It's just the dumbest thing you could possibly do. That was such a terrible trade. Burnaby Joe completely snaked them with that deal. Connor Max says you might be right. They win game 2, but Stars tonight. This Knights team is just inconsistent. Ryan Reeves is great. I think the Knights offense comes and goes, but the top players on the Knights are stepping up enough to be trusted. Lehner with back-to-back shutouts. The Stars aren't scoring. Glenn Elliott Man said, went ahead with Vegas -1. Should I get greedy and add -1? I don't think you need to. Nice turnsy. We all had a nice, juicy night. I thought it was going to be a huge night, but it's still a good night. Knights -1 is what I want. Let's see what we're going to get, what I'm going to get here on the Knights -1. minus 170 and plus 150. So like a minus 110. I'm on the Knights. Birdie, you're absolutely right. Birdie says, Kipper looked into the camera on Hockey Central at noon 2 years ago and said, any OHL player with 30 or more goals and is over 6'3", learn how to fight. Knights minus 1. Knights 18.5% power play, 88.7% penalty killing. The Stars have a very good power play in the playoffs at 26.3% that the Knights are able to nullify. And it's a huge, huge, huge point. A beautiful murder. Thank you for joining us. George Wood, Knights team total over 3.5. That's a little. I still, if I had a free play, I would take the under, but not at 5.5, and not juice to minus 135. This is simple. This is very simple to me. The Stars aren't scoring. Seguin's playing terrible. Dallas is tired. I still don't think Khudobin can play every second night for a long stretch of time. He's never done that in his NHL career. Leonard has been given rest because of the flurry. Lamont Williams going up against me, but I don't see this as a complicated play. I see this as a pretty simple play. Knights minus 1. They're going to take a 2-1 lead in the series. That's my look in NHL. And that is every game capped in 5 major sports. How much fun is this? We can't do it without you great cappers in the chat. George Wood says, any possibility Bishop plays? Yes, I expect Bishop. Well, I don't really know. I mean, I'm guessing Bishop comes in the series. Bizarre. I love it. Well, we saw Robert Allen, what he did in that Game 7 against the Nucks with a hat trick. He was incredible. Topset says he will be posting tennis plays. Connor Mack, I don't. Look how Dallas needed 7 games in overtime to beat an Avalanche team on their third goaltender, missing a top 4 defenseman and 3 top 9 forwards. 4 in Game 7 without Landeskog, and they needed overtime in Game 7. I think they're in trouble. All right, let's go. Much love, Jason Folk. Let's go. This is my MLB card. Again, if the Cardinals win Game 1, I'm interested in the Tigers Game 2. Interested. I'll leave it at that. Michael Lunday, thank you for joining us, my friend. I enjoy capping with you guys each and every day immensely. And I, grind my ass off on these games and really try to have them broken down. And I'm inspired by working with you guys every day. Okay. Robert Chase said, tell me on MMA this weekend. I'm interested. Okay. So I'm interested in Tigers Game 2, but I haven't made a move there. These are the moves I have made. I have pulled the trigger on Royals Indians first 5 under 4.5. Well, again, I've got to go bet these right now. So I've decided to make these bets. Is a better way to put it. Yeah, Marco, I should have got in on the 9. It's already moved to 9.5. I think the Chiefs roll. The one thing that you depend on early in the season is your defense. Now you have a brand new defensive coordinator. You have a brand new defensive coordinator, brand new play caller on offense. Let's watch it. I think the Chiefs are gonna take care of business. Okay. Royals Indians first 5 under 4.5. Phillies minus 115. Red Sox team total over 3.5 at minus 125. Orioles Yankees first 5 under 5 at minus 105. And then Dodgers Diamondbacks first 5 under 5.5, correlating with sweet taint. Oh, Conch Salad. Conch Salad play of the day is in. Conch Salad. Cubs money line, Tigers money line, Astros money line. Lucky. Conch Salad. Much love, El Capo. I agree with that assessment, Birdie. I agree with that assessment very much. Lord Vader joining us with Chiefs under 54.5. And Dylan wants nuts on the table. George Wood says, Azarenka must play. Glenn Elliott, man, back in the Seattle Sounders. The taint play today was Dodgers, Diamondbacks, full game under 9.5. Stephen Glass says, with Cole on the mound, there is no way I make that play. We'll talk about it tomorrow, Stephen. But I think it's with Cole on the mound is the reason I'm making that play. I see this as a bounce back opportunity for him. And imagine like a month ago getting first five on the Garrett Cole start. So we'll see. I'm on the Chiefs -9, although that's turned into 9.5. That was a mistake not betting up before the show. Sorry, I get it. Look, I get it. He's not been good lately. I'm on UAB +14. I'm on Rockets first quarter +1.5 and Lakers -5. Ooh, we got a prop from Michael. Watson, rush yards over 30.5. Oh, Mike, that might be a spectacular look. Breakdown of plays, you're absolutely right. Oh, Michael, I think that is such a good look. All right, I'm going to look out. I'm going to take a look at Michael's look there. I think that might be very, very strong. And Knights -1. George Wood says, please add Azarenka. I'll have to look into it a bit, George Wood, just because it's a sport I don't cap. Lamont Williams says, what is the Orioles solo team total over today? I will tell you right now. Well, this is at Bet365 where they're not gorgeous offerings for team totals. They're usually juiced up. Team total over for the Orioles, 3.5 at -110. That does sound good, man. No, Gio Mercedes, Vegas -1. Matt Randall agreeing that's a great call. It is a great call by Michael Lunday. It's a great, great call. Let's take a look at it right now. Rush yards. Wow, I'm getting 28.5 at my book. I think that's such a good call. And Ken Man already jumped on it. Gio Mercedes, I think you're on Twitter. Are you on Twitter? I can just send you. For some reason, I can't post it here on the. I can't post the run line calculator. But if you're on Twitter, just hit me on Twitter and I'll send it up. Wow. Thank Michael Lunday. I'm going to jump on that too. I'm jumping with Michael Lunday. I think that's a very smart call. The breakdown of plays today are going to be often. Okay, I got to get this in before it gets bet up. Wow, it pays to stick around late on these shows. Michael Lunday coming in with a gorgeous one. I'm just at Jimmy the Bag, Jim Mercedes, at Jimmy the Bag. If I don't already follow you, I'll follow you, and then I'll just DM you the run line calculator. It's being very helpful for all of us. All right. There we go. Mahomes is only 20 yards, Mr. Wisdom. Mahomes sometimes is hesitant now leaving the pocket since he got that ankle injury in the regular season game against the Texans last year. Jason Folk says Mahomes 29 is also a cash. Yeah, I wouldn't take the under. But the Watson one just makes so much sense to me. And Matt Randall, let's leave that. Derek King, so exciting, especially against bad teams. Can't wait to watch the Canes tonight. I'm excited about that game too. Lamont Williams, the only prop play I'm going to make is this Deshaun Watson over rush yards. I got to get it in fast before it changes. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for all your support, your great insights, all your study. We work together to defeat the juice. And Very, very thankful to cap with you guys. Alex Van Hooser, yes, the taint has been announced. It's the under 9.5 in Dodgers Diamondbacks. Robert Cherry, I will. I do follow you already, though, right, Robert Cherry? I'm pretty sure I do. Much love, all you guys. Matt Randall, Birdie, Jags are my team. Connor Mack likes them week 1, +8 versus the Colts, and I think Connor Mack's on to something. Those are A. Hillies, looks UAB +14, KC under 55, Lakers -5, Vegas regulation. Dennis Garcia, Ichnizzle, Walla Walla Dose, The Czar, Mark Uncle for Mr. Gokster, Ulysses Hayes, Intex, Birdie, Robert Cherry, Jason Folk, Alex Van Hooser, The Czar, Spenny Pennybomb, Dylan Turner, Sharp Money, Lamont Williams, Prince of the City. Let's get paid. Gio Mercedes, Glenn Elliott, man, Smith Legacy. Smith Legacy saying, Watson, get that on one play. Got to get that in. Got to get that bet in. Thank you, Michael Lunde. I like it. Stu Boo, much love. Let's get paid in full. Leche, hey, Los Bookmakers. Let's go. Let's have ourselves